Hello everyone, so I'm back with the 6th installment of my 90s Barbie collection. So we were going to be going over the 1998 dolls. Here they all are. So as always, I will mention that please note that a lot of these dolls, 99% of them, are flea market finds. They're not in the original outfits. They're in various different types of conditions, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that these dolls mean a lot to me, so please don't ask me if any of them are for sale, donation, trade, or if I'll give you any. They just mean so much to me, and each one of them has their own little backstory that is very nostalgic to me, so please be respectful. Without further ado, let's get on to the dolls. So here's my two butterfly art Barbies, and apparently this was a doll back in the 90s that got recalled because the dolls came with tattoos, and they had like press-on tattoos, I believe, or stickers or something, I can't remember, that you could stick on yourself, but they are really exotic. This was like whenever Barbie started becoming a little bit more rebellious. So this was kind of right before 1999, right before Britney Spears came out and she had her Hit Me Baby One More Time album. And so Barbie was starting to get a little bit more edgy and trendy. So this was a perfect example of that. So this one, I got her, I want to say that I got her from, I know I got her from the flea market. I just can't remember who sold her to me. I know it'll hit me later on. Oh yeah, the guy with all the CDs. Okay. So yeah, the guy with all the CDs and DVDs, I got this doll from him back in 2009. And late 2009, I found her after I moved in with my sister-in-law's aunt. And she was given to me for free at the flea market because one of her hands had been chewed and she was in pretty raunchy condition. This is another doll I got along with her. She is Giggles and Swing Barbie, and she still works. If I can find the button on her back. And what's funny about her, I will note this, the Giggles and Swing Barbie, and she came with like Shelly or Kelly, depending on your region. In the UK, she was called Shelly, and here in America, she was called Kelly. So, but she came with a Kelly doll, she came with a swing set, and apparently the noise that comes out of Barbie is supposed to be Kelly. So, because obviously I don't think you could shove talking technology into a tiny Kelly doll, and I don't think they wanted to make the swing set make the noises, so it just came out of Barbie. So Barbie laughs like a little kid and talks like one. So yeah, that's what she does. And it's funny, when you hear "we," it sounds like there's bubbles. Like, it has like a bubble sound in the back. So I thought maybe at first, she was some sort of like bath giving, like she gives Shelly or Kelly a bath or something, because you can hear like bubble sounds. So I thought that was kind of weird, but it turns out she came with a swing set for Kelly. But she's really, really, really pretty. She came with a like navy blue shirt, and at the top it had a v-neck collar that had red and yellow, and then she had yellow shorts, which I still have. I don't think I have the top anymore. But yeah, there's her. Really pretty. She kind of looked more momish here. She had the Superstar head mold. This was like one of the last years they used the Superstar sculpt on Playline Barbie. And I've noticed that from like 97, you'll notice like with Bead Blast And then we have this Avon Barbie, and into 1998, they really started loving that Maki sculpt. So they were like using the Maki mold, which is, it's kind of like the Superstar mold, just with a closed mouth, kind of. So she still has a similar nose. She has similar eyes, but her face shape has changed a little, and her mouth is closed. So, but yeah, this is the Maki mold, and they used it on a lot of dolls back then. Pretty in Plaid Barbie, Butterfly Art Barbie, and then we have Sleeping Beauty Barbie, Winter Ride Barbie, and there's another. This one is the Sleeping Beauty doll with the eyes that don't close. We have Tie-Dye Barbie, and then we have Very Velvet and the Holiday doll. So lots of Maki molds. Lots of Maki. They really liked it back in that year. So then we move on to my two Pretty in Plaid dolls, and you'll have to excuse this doll. She looks kind of scary, I know, but there's an explanation behind that. So I actually got her along with this one that was really destroyed looking, and I actually got her for free too. I couldn't imagine leaving her behind, because I guess it brought back a certain amount of nostalgia for me, because when I was little, I think I was like 10 years old. I remember going to a family gathering. It was like Christmas or Thanksgiving, and across the street from my uncle's house there was this abandoned house, and I knew that little kids had lived there, and next door there was another abandoned house, and I found so many Barbies around that neighborhood. Like, I found them in the abandoned houses, I found them around the abandoned houses and stuff. So I remember going over to the one across the street, and it looked like some bad stuff had happened over there, because windows were smashed out and the inside of the house was a complete mess. But I might have told this story in some of my other videos, but I will tell it again. Over across the street from that house, or across the street where that abandoned house was, there's just not just the damage inside, but there was like junk scattered everywhere. There was a huge trash pile in the backyard filled with like miscellaneous toys and dolls. And there was so many Barbies that were lying all over the yard, in the front, the side yards, the backyards. And this was a house kind of out in the country a little bit, so it was kind of a deserted area. And all the Barbies and other dolls had been there for so long that they literally looked like this. Like when a Barbie or any kind of other fashion doll with a painted on face is left outside long enough, the face paint will actually start to, the way they decay, the face paint is usually the first thing that goes. And I suspect this doll, because she had like dirt in her scalp, she had dirt on her body, and she's discolored really bad. So I suspect that somebody left her in their backyard or something. So it reminded me of that day whenever I went across the street to my uncle's house and found all those Barbies that were like in various stages of decomposition, had haircuts, they were chewed, stuff like that. So she reminded me of that, and so I wound up getting her, and they gave her to me for free. So I felt, why not take her home and, avenge her. So she brings back a lot of nostalgic memories because of that. I remember I tried to repaint her face once and I failed miserably. So I'm going to try to do it again. Since I have another one, I just need the right materials, the right paint and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to give her the same face she had originally. I just have to get the right materials to do that. But unfortunately, this one has a haircut. The one that was in the worst condition, she has her original length hair, which is really long and nice. She had her earrings, but I wound up pulling them out. And I remember I cut one of them in half, so I made a Barbie ring out of it. So yeah, that's the long story behind her. But I love her nonetheless. And then this one I got from the same guy that sold me that one. So I got her in 2010. I got her in early 2009. So I got her in 2010, and